Evening all. So today what we're going to look at is basically we're noticing a lot of heavies being spammed now. So we've come up with a tactic called laser fire line. Here's our merc. Let's call him Dave, for example. In terms of his range, an AR and assault rifle has that sort of range as you see there. Heavy machine gun slightly less. So again, in that kind of range, you're in trouble if you're not kind of competitive. However, a laser range has around that kind of distance, and you can see the little donut shape there is pretty much your firing line, your kill zone. And let me prove this to you. So we joined a squad, and there's 4 of us, and we're all running lasers. And what we were going to do here was really, well, we were just actually going to play a game in the Caldari Prime map, because as you can see, there's wreckage everywhere, because somebody blew up a Titan in orbit, and apparently it fell into the planet, and you know, all of this good stuff. So, you know, there we go. But basically, we'll touch on the lore in a minute. What we're doing here is really just kind of combating people who kept spawning heavies and such. So the match starts in a kind of ambling, happy way. Then we notice, there we go, so heavy number 1. And pretty much all they were doing was bringing in heavy machine guns. So using lasers. Now, if you've never used a laser, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you do use lasers, then you are very sagely clutching your smoking pipe and saying, yes, that's very wise, Mr. Pyrex. And that's pretty much why we use lasers, because way often the close-up battle is always going to be won by heavy machine guns and assault rifles and so on, and particularly shotguns. But this is why I use a scout suit with a laser on it. I know, crazy. But this tactic I'm doing right now is I'm retreating, I'm getting distance, and then I'm able to basically just pick them off with my beams of light. Now, this is pretty much, well, it's a no-brainer, really, is it? But you'd be amazed the amount of people who maybe don't kind of comprehend this, because again, this map was a prime example. We just kept getting spammed with heavy machine guns, with that damn HM82 what's it thing. So, you know, pretty good players, don't get me wrong, I'm not shit pasting, but here you go, watch this tactic. All 4 of us, we line up and we just let them spawn at sea, because that's the only valid spawn they had, and we just basically started picking them off and just watch these lovely pinnacles of light as they basically shatter armor, shield armor, and then into the soft part of the brain. It was brilliant. It really was, I think, one of these funny things. And again, hopefully you could hear the noise if I stop blabbering for a sec. But again, there we go. I think it's, you know, this is a tactic I would heartily recommend. And all you see we're doing, just lining up, there we go, just lining up and basically just, yeah, farming them, really. No intention to capture C at this moment. We're just going to let them keep spawning here. And getting shot by 4 very, very, you know, kind of competent laser pilots. Now, here we go. Heavy managed to get around the back of us, so as the lasers start taking him down, my submachine gun starts hitting him, and, you know, the lasers basically take care of him. Heavy suits are good, but they are nothing compared to 4 laser beams being hit with them. And again, these are cheap lasers. I think maybe Porter's using a Vizam, so he's got the good one. But, you know, pretty much most of us are using Ghetto lasers, which is like your heavy beam laser, 6K, you know, pretty good. And I think really this is a tactic I would say is quite fun to do, as long as you can keep the range on them. So this is why I had a scout suit. You know, I always run scout suit now. I mean, this is my thing. But the reason is because I can then quickly locate, I can then flank round the side as well. And this is where I think lasers do become, you know, quite a powerful tool, because ARs are good, but they're only good to a particular range, as I showed in the diagram. Oh, look at that orbital. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. So there we go. So, and I think, you know, orbitals, I think assault rifles are good, and heavy machine guns are awesome, but I think they are absolutely stifled when at range. And I think this is where, if you have a good laser fit, and if you have a couple of guys in the squad using laser, you can actually set up long range or medium range kill zones, and this is what we're doing here. So that guy up there, he just got absolutely splashed, because again, the conversion of the beams as well when you hit, and when they're also pretty much warmed up, if that makes sense. The lasers do just an astronomical amount of damage if you hit them with 2 or 3 or 4 even. And that's certainly, I think, a good use of the tool. Just a quick note, whenever I get to that point in the map that I just walk through that little gully bit, I always lag. I don't know if anyone else gets that. Post in the comments if you get that. And I don't know what's up with that dude. He seems to have his boots are on fire. But I think, you know, this is always something you know, I think a lot of people are kind of moaning about, oh, this is overpowered, that's overpowered. Lasers are not overpowered, trust me, they're not, because up close they're useless. And this is why if you're going to run a laser fit, I would heartily recommend that you skill up submachine gun, because I use a submachine gun. In this build I'm just using the toxin one that came with the Merc pack, pretty good. It's no better than militia. But I've now actually started skilling up to get the assault and I think the breach submachine gun, and they're actually really good. And I mean really good. You know, I think I get more kills with the submachine gun than I do with an AR now with my GEC. So go figure. I think it's just the insane rate of fire, and again, most of the time you're going to use your laser at long range, then you're going to turn around, you're going to see somebody is really close to you, and that's when you're just going to reach for the SMG and you're going to rush them. You're not going to run away from them unless you can run away, get range, and then use your laser, in which case again the scout suit really comes into its own. So you know, here we go, prime location. I'm too far away to really take a lot of damage from heavy machine guns. A Devol or something like that would probably do me some damage, but again, I'm just keeping my distance. But this is where I think lasers just really come into their own. There's nothing there's nothing that entire team can do here, because again, heavy machine guns don't hit over range. ARs, shaky, it's not brilliant, and I think the likelihood is their scatter is also going to mean that they don't get hits always on you. It's going to be the odd, every other hit sort of thing. So pretty much these guys are stupid to keep kind of firing at us with their machine guns. And there we go, you can see we're just taking them out. Oh, and I missed someone. I didn't see where that dude is. Oh, it's a sniper. I got hit with a sniper. So here we go, round 2. Same tactic, firing line once more. Isn't that brilliant? Oh, I do love it, and I think this is really going to be pretty incredible. If you can imagine what's going to happen when squads become size of 6 or even 16, can you imagine that? Everybody all running the same fit, or 16 lasers. We'd like to face that. Anyway, lasers are also pretty good against vehicles. This is something again we've found when you've got a mass convergence of beams, particularly. I mean, one laser is pretty good. Certainly against shield targets, but what we also run on these fits is AV grenades, and I think Josh is running flux grenades. So again, tanks used to be a major problem to us. I think it's been a while since they've actually been an issue, mainly because again we're just running, I think, the right fits with the right gear, the right tactics. And for example, if a Madruga or a Soma comes around the corner, we hit it with the lasers, and that'll take its shield down while chucking AV grenades. And seriously, they don't last very long. Plus, when you're hitting them with sort of like 9 AV grenades, well, here we go, prime example, kaboom! We're just pretty much unkillable. Now, if a Gunlogi or a Seeker comes around, this is where Josh again has his flux grenades. They're probably a bit tougher to kill. And again, if you've got a premium tank pilot, you know who you guys are, then yeah, they'd probably kill us still. Because 9k of armor and an incredibly good hardened 5k shield and whatever is always still going to give us a problem. But again, four guys with the right fits and the right tactics will take out any tank. With these fits, with lasers and the grenades that we've got. But there we go. So there we go. That was laser firing line. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.